And this is the tiny house I'm building, and I'm going to give you a short tour of it. Start with the exterior here. Pardon the mess we got here a little bit on the ground. We have a couple of windows here, and I finished the trim, getting the shade here. So you can see that's kind of all sealed up in there. I'm going to go back and paint all that. Paint all that when we get a chance. And siding, and then you can put the propane tanks down here for the shower. Probably bolt that down or something better when I get to that step. Okay. Let me move this. This is not mine. Alright. Alright, so on the outside here we have the utility box. So I'm going to go back and seal it up a little bit better. But it's going to open up here, and I'm going to put some that spray insulation in here. But I've got it sideways so that it'll come out through here, an extension cord. And these outside windows, of course. Got the stairs here now. So they're pretty nice and wide and sturdy. Kind of jump and jiggle on them just fine. And this trim here. Metal roofing you can see there. So mostly got that trim sealed up, and we'll go back and paint that. And there's the other stairs there. And actually, I was just looking at this chair over here. It's not mine, but I was thinking of using something like that for the toilet, the stand. Trying to think of something waterproof to put over a bucket like that for the composting toilet. But let's go ahead and go inside. And alright, so if you were to walk through it, to the left, that's going to be the closet. The center is going to be the pantry on the back wall, and the right's going to be the bathroom. So I just finished doing the wiring. So I'll show you that here in a second. We have everything insulated. It'll probably be the next step or so. And that's the loft up there. Just go ahead up this ladder. I can show you. Finished putting that switch in. It's going to go all the way to the back there, and there's going to be there's a plug there now, so, or a receptacle, whatever they call it. And I was thinking of putting a light back there, but I thought maybe whoever buys it's going to want to put their own lamp or something back there, so I just left it as a plug. Alright, so we come down, back down, and see there's storage room up there. You might be able to see that I've already gone ahead and insulated most of that up there. And then you come down, if we head towards the back here a little bit, and then you turn around and look at the front, that's kind of what you're looking at out the front once we put the door there. And window, of course, and a little nook. So let's go to the wiring job here. Alright, that's where the outside receptacle starts, and the wire comes up, goes to the GFCI switch there, and the breaker box here. So let's see if I can get the camera around here and point that. I can't see what it's going to look at real quick, but that's basically it. And then camera comes over to here, or the wire comes to here, and I've got it splitting off to go to the switches on one side, and then up into the ceiling and then down, because if you go on the other side of the wall, we've got a plug down there, and that's where that ends up. Now if it goes to the switches, one's going to be the light to the closet, and that plug is right here. So that's not going to be exposed. So if I go up here ceiling level, you see that you can't see it. It's not exposed. And the reason for that is I got LED lights to get the best energy conservation and minimize the draw on the 15 amps that will be available. And so those they're not hardwired in. So I'm just going to plug them in the wall. They'll be completely sealed. It'll look like they're hardwired in. So there's another plug there. So there'll be one in the closet and there'll be one above the pantry and one above this hallway area. We'll take a step back, another step back here. See, just below the loft. So there'll be one roundabout here, and then one back over there. And then the bathroom here is kind of using it to store the insulation while it's moving things around. And so we've got wires coming from the ones that aren't going to the switch are also going up, over, around to another place where they're connected. And one of those goes to the bath fan here, this switch, and then back up to the bath fan, go around the board here. You see that we've already wired that in, and it vents to the outside. I put all the wiring together on that one. You can wire it separate, light and fan, but I figure if you're going to be in there with the light on, you're probably going to need the fan in there anyways too. So shower or bathroom. And also to give the tiny house some ventilation that it'll need because it's a small space. So after we went to the wires going down here to the switch and then back to the light, you can see one of them goes to the wall, and then it goes over here to another place. I've connected them and split them off. One of those goes down to another plug, and one of them goes up back there to the switch that is up there for the upstairs part. Now after we go to that plug down there, we go across, go down the wall. You can see I got some metal wall plate things that go over. These just, I'll show you here. These fit over like that so that you don't nail through the wire there. And then got one into the final plug there, and then one going up and over around that plug, and then around, if that doesn't make anybody dizzy, to this plug, which these switches which I left open so I could show you what we're doing here. Alright, just kind of background light there. Alright, so we have the hot coming in here, and then splitting off to each switch, and then the neutral going right through, and then the ground going to each switch as well. And then one switch goes outside where the porch light will be. The other one comes back around here to up there where I've got them split. Now when you turn on that light, well, when you turn on the other, one switch will turn on the porch light, the other one's going to turn on the ceiling lights. And one of those ceiling lights will be the LED lights. One of them's plugged in right there. It'll be right over this study area. And the rest, you can see the other branch goes up to the ceiling, up into the ceiling, and that goes up through there, where there's another plug facing the other side. And I've got some longer string of LED lights that'll be the central light from the ceiling. So that one switch will turn all three of those lights on. Let's see, there was one more thing to show you about the wiring, and that was when it comes off this breaker, and that's a 15 amp breaker, so it'll carry the load. The advantage of that being that if you overdraw your 15 amps, it'll shut off here and not in somebody else's house or your own house. You won't have to make a trip into the main building to get it back. You just come in your closet and flip the switch again. Same thing with the GFCI there, protector. Alright, so we've got one wire running from outside, but the other one's going over here to a plug, as well as, let me zoom in here a little bit, from the original source we've got the ground wire coming through here, and it goes, so we can adjust to the light. I've got it going and touching the frame there, the frame of the trailer, so it's packed in the insulation. So I put that in there and taped it to the trailer and then put the insulation in there, so that's good. So that's the tour for today. Looks like running close to 10 minutes. So the next tour I'll show you. Got a fan running here. Next tour we'll show you some more things on the tiny house here.